Well, they're a frequent sight these days. E-scooters and e-bikes powered by lithium batteries are becoming increasingly popular. But fire services around the UK are warning that hundreds of these e-scooters and e-bikes are catching fire. And the lithium batteries in the devices have been bursting into flames whilst they've been charging. And exclusive data obtained by Channel 4 News shows that fires like this one are placing an increasing burden on the fire service. Now, we asked fire services across the UK for the number of recorded fires caused by an e-bike or e-scooter going back to 2019. Not all of them responded, but we can see the number of fires rising each year from 27 back there in 2019 to 186 last year. That's a near seven-fold increase. And we're at 125 this year already for figures that just cover the first 7 months of the year. So we could well be on course to surpass last year's total. And overall, there were 543 fires across 16 of the fire services. Now, these firefighters here training in Merseyside are concerned about the increasing frequency of these fires. Their service has dealt with 48 fires involving batteries from e-bikes or e-scooters in the last 4 years. And on the front line, they found that they burn intensely and prove stubbornly resistant to conventional firefighting techniques.
They're virtually impossible to put out. They go into runaway and they just keep... Water doesn't seem to do the job, nothing does. It's constant hours of putting the battery out. Which, as you can imagine, ties fire engines for a long time, trying to deal with something as could be as small as a scooter.
And this is what the aftermath looks like. But as more and more lithium batteries make their way into our lives, powering everything from vacuum cleaners to electric vehicles, why are e-bikes and e-scooters in particular at the root of so many fires?
We've noticed that we are attending, as a sector, more and more fires, particularly involving lithium-ion batteries that should be fitted to scooters or e-bikes. There is an increase in battery fires where the battery isn't necessarily designed to fit that particular e-scooter or e-bike. So we'd advise people against compromising which particular battery goes into a particular vehicle.
Now, the rise of e-bikes and e-scooters means these batteries are only going to play an even bigger part in our lives. And our figures suggest that's going to leave the fire service with a major challenge.
Well, I'm joined now by Anne Clark, who's chair of the London Assembly's Fire Resilience and Emergency Planning Committee. Anne, thanks for being with us. Just some practical do's and don'ts here. Should you go to sleep and leave it on charge?
No, absolutely not. You should always charge it while you're awake and while you're home. And there's some really good advice from the London Fire Brigade called the Charge Safe campaign, which I would advise anyone with such a battery to have a read through and follow all of those instructions.
Right. Well, whilst we're still doing public service broadcasting up front, if one goes on fire, I mean, a natural human reaction is to throw a blanket over it or throw water on it. We heard from one of your fire officers there. That's what not to do, isn't it?
Oh, if one of these devices catches on fire, the absolute correct thing to do is ring 999 and leave the building. In people's homes, the natural thing to do is throw something on it, throw water on it. But these fires don't behave like normal fires. They're lithium-ion batteries. Small lithium-ion batteries is approximately as powerful as 6 hand grenades going off in your flat. So it needs to be handled by professionals.
Yes, put like that, I guess it does. Is there something, I mean, that figure there, 543 fires, I think, in the last year, is that simply because the numbers of these devices is going up exponentially, if you see what I mean? Or is there an inherent problem there in their design?
We do have there is a big problem. Anyone is able to go online and buy a lithium-ion battery to retrofit an e-bike or e-scooter. And the problem with that is that, as they were saying before, these batteries aren't necessarily meant to be in the device that they find themselves in. So people are using the wrong chargers, they're using the wrong battery, they're retrofitting cycles themselves. So because you can buy these kits online and because you can buy lithium-ion batteries that are completely unregulated online, the problem is we're having batteries fit onto devices by by non-experts because they're available. People then have them in their flats and their homes, and it's in conflict with what's safe. So it's very dangerous, and
Right.
especially in London, where we have lots of people like delivery drivers living in houses of multiple occupancy. It becomes a real danger because you have many people living in the same
Sure.
home, and people are putting them to charge overnight, and it is very dangerous.
Right. It therefore follows that you, I presume, would like to see greater regulation so that people absolutely put the right charge with the right battery in the right plug and don't go on fire.
Yeah, 100%. And my committee, as chair of the committee, I wrote to the government to ask them to do just that. We need urgent regulation. In London, we've had 3 people die this year alone and 51 people injured in these fires. It's not acceptable. I mean, it's plainly dangerous, and it needs regulation.
Right. Are you going to get it in 10 seconds?
Yeah, are we going to get it? We absolutely have to get it. I would absolutely implore the government to focus on that, perhaps this week at their conference.
Right. We'll see what they come up with. Anne Clark, thanks very much.